3, 2, 1.
Many students might ask, what is a scientific method? Well, it consists of systematic steps that help us to solve scientific matter. There are 9 steps of it. First one is identify the problem. Like we need to look and state the problem down. The second one is to construct a hypothesis. Like for example, the volume of liquid is fixed like solid. This is our hypothesis. And so after that, we need to control the variables. For example, variables that are manipulated variable where it can change the item, and then there are constant variable where the item needs to stay the same so that the experiment will be very accurate. And we also have response variable, which is kind of conclusion like that, state that what happens in the end. Fourth, brand an experiment. We need to brand the experiment before we conduct the experiment, so we won't be nervous when we're not conducting the experiment. For example, we need to prepare the ingredients before conducting the experiment, so we need to brand it what to prepare the ingredients, what ingredients to be prepared. 5. Conduct the experiment. So after we prepare the experiment, all the ingredients that needed in the experiment, so we can conduct the experiment and we don't have to get distracted as we didn't have enough ingredients and we need to go and take something like that. Well, after that, we need to collect data. Well, the data format when collecting is kind of like this. You may see it after the experiment and you need to collect the data. Next, we have to analyze and interpret the data. Well, we need to know about the data and understand about all of it. For example, the volume of liquid is fixed, just now our hypothesis, and we need to know how the volume is fixed. How? So this is analyzing and interpreting the data. Like we can use measuring cylinder to know that the volume of liquid is fixed because the measuring cylinder can measure out the volume of liquid and using some statements or those things, and afterwards we need to make a conclusion to conclude our whole experiment and to know that whether our hypothesis is correct or not. And so we will learn something new and make a conclusion of our experiment. And so yeah. And the last one is that we need to write a report. We need to write a report of all the experiment and state the aim of the experiment is the first one of the step when we write a report, and state the problem statement in the question form. Write a hypothesis afterwards. And we have to state 3 types of variables involved, which is manipulated variable, constant variable, and responding variable. And then we need to list all materials and apparatus used. Write the procedure in passive voice and draw clearly the apparatus setup so that people will understand about our apparatus setup and know about all the experiment, how it goes. And then we need to record the results in a table or graph. Well, some people might ask, why do we have to record the results in a table or graph? Why can't we just write it in a paper, in a plain paper, just a plain paper? Well, this is because the graphs are diagrams that show information in a clear and simple way. There are different types of graphs. Like for example, pie graph, scatter graph, line graph, and bar graph. And then we need to analyze and interpret the graph. Like, and think whether the hypothesis is accepted or rejected. Like for example, is the experiment result same with our hypothesis? Is it correct? And then we need to write a suitable conclusion for the whole experiment. And so this is our lesson today. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you will get notified every time wherever we have a new video.